When you want to improve your cognitive performance, your brain health, it's not just your neurological networks, it's your social networks. Who you spend time with is who you become, right? You have these mirror neurons. We're constantly imitating the people around us. We start developing the same habits of the people around us, the same behaviors, the same language and thoughts and thinking and standards and character, right? In 2018, there was a joint study done by New York University and Virginia Tech. And they found that 13 minutes of meditation over 8 weeks not only enhanced mood, but also enhanced things like focus, concentration, and working memory. Just 13 minutes a day for 8 weeks. Welcome back to the Kwik Brain Show. I am your host and your brain coach, Jim Kwik. And what are we going to talk about today? I'm going to share with you 6 natural medicines to be able to upgrade your brain, to have greater levels of intelligence, greater levels of income, and greater levels of impact. Some of you heard this meme or this quote somewhere on social media saying the 6 best doctors in the world, and no one can deny it, are what? Sunshine, water, rest, air, exercise, and diet, right? And it's kind of true, right? If you want natural ways to be able to be healthy, to be able to improve your learning and your life, those things are there. And besides diet, things are really, they're free. They could come at absolutely no cost. Now, I'm going to go a level deeper. I'm going to share with you 6 medications that are actually natural. They're not real medicine, but I'm going to give you an acronym on 6 things you could do when you feel stressed, when you feel like you're overloaded, overwhelmed. You kind of don't know where to start. I want you to pick one of these 6 things. So what are these 6 natural medicines? I want you to think about this acronym. Meds, RX. Now, I didn't create this. There is a book that talked about it. It's called Slow, talked about MEDS. Also, recently, Brendon Burchard, who wrote Motivation Manifesto. He's spoken at our stages at our Brain Power Conference, been on our podcast. He said Meds RX. So there's 6 things you could do to be able to tap into that I want to share with you. Simple things that you could do that are easy and mostly free, right? They just take your time. So MEDS RX. And RX is usually like those pharmaceutical drugs, but this, no side effects. Then best of all, again, take very little time, very little money. So what does the M stand for? The M in Meds RX stands for meditation. Now, in this podcast, we will link all of it, by the way, in the notes. Make sure you always go to jimkwik.com/notes. It's priceless information. It won't cost you a thing. You just have to pay attention. So the M stands for meditation. We've done so many episodes, over 300 episodes total, but many of them are on the power of your mind through meditation and mindfulness. We've had guests come on like Emily Fletcher sharing her process for how to be able to meditate. So I'm not going to go through it in this podcast. Make sure you go through the links. All right. Now, meditation is great for the brain. Sometimes we have to disconnect to be able to reconnect with ourselves. It's kind of like a little pit stop or a pause. For me, I meditate twice a day. It's kind of my non-negotiable because you know what? Your brain isn't meant to go fast all the time. You need these little rests. You're taking deliberate rest for yourself. And that's where you could actually consolidate information. Take your short term, convert it to long-term memory. It actually could help accelerated learning. In 2018, there was a joint study done by New York University and Virginia Tech. And they found that 13 minutes of meditation over 8 weeks not only enhanced mood, but also enhanced things like focus, concentration, and working memory. Just 13 minutes a day for 8 weeks. This study also concluded that it helped to decrease things like anxiety and improved emotional regulation. So, are you taking the time? Are you scheduling your meditation each and every day? Remember, when we're talking about routines and habits, first you create your habits, and then those habits create you. So schedule it, put it into your planner. The number one productivity tool that you have for peace of mind is your calendar. And so remember, when you're going, you feel like you're burnt out. Sometimes you're burnt out not because you're doing too much, but because you're doing too little of the things that make you feel alive. So take that rest for yourself once or twice a day and post on social media. Let me know if it's working for you. Now, the E in meds RX stands for, you can probably guess, exercise. Now, we've done many episodes on our podcast about the power of what? Movement. We've had people like Sean Stevenson talk about exercises for the brain. We've had episodes with Aaron Alexander, who wrote Alignment, talk about the power of movements and how to maximize your body for a better brain. So many episodes. Make sure you go to jimkwik.com/notes. And there have been many studies on the power of exercise, probably more than any other area, that when you move your body, as your body moves, guess what? Your brain grooves. When you move your body, you create brain-derived neurotropic factors, fancy word, BDNF, which is like fertilizer for your brain. And we live in this very sedentary lifestyle. Many of us, me included, we sit behind a computer, we're behind a screen, and they say sitting is the new smoking. So are you taking time to move? There was a study done in 2015 at Cambridge University where they took participants. They did a baseline in terms of cognitive ability and tests, and they had a part of the group exercise. They did aerobic exercise in this case, and part of the group, they watched videos of people exercising. And then they followed up, and those who actually exercised, there was enhanced activity in the prefrontal cortex, and this lasted for hours. So if you feel stuck throughout the day, right? If you're just studying and you're cramming information and you're at work, make sure you take those brain breaks. Take 5, 10, 15 minutes and go for a walk, right? Clear your mind, move your body. We know that people, when they're listening to our podcast or our audiobook, or they're listening to something when they're doing something rhythmic, maybe they're on an elliptical, maybe you're going walking the dog and you're listening, it actually help you to enhance your retention of the information and your comprehension. So move your body, exercise, and that's the E in meds